Well, I think it's about time that I make a new video, and I haven't made one in a while, and to talk about something completely different, to get back into electric vehicles. So this is our Tesla Model 3 that is new to us. We've had it now for about 2 months. As some of you know, we had a Chevrolet Bolt EV prior to this, but it was purchased back by GM. And we originally had intended on moving the direction of purchasing a ID4, but we did not. The wait times got ridiculous. The uncertainty with the tax credits, things like that, kind of made it a bit moot, in my opinion. So after discovering that I could get a older, not new, Model 3 for a reasonable price, with full self-driving, it started to make more and more sense. This car was purchased with only 21,000 miles on it. It is a 2019 Model 3 Performance Stealth with full self-driving. It was less expensive, significantly less expensive than the ID4 was going to be. And more or less, my thought process was that I became very concerned with the charging infrastructure that's not Tesla. That being said, it's not a knock on the reliability necessarily, any of that. It's more the availability. I know that Tesla definitely can have some issues with their superchargers becoming full and stuff like that. While this car is not equipped with the CCS adapter feature or the support at the moment, I did purchase the adapter, and I will be making sure that upgrade is done to the car. So effectively, the Tesla will be able to charge anywhere in the country, whereas the ID4 or any of the other ones would not be able to. And again, this is not necessarily a mark, this is just a fact of life. It just is the way it is at the moment when it comes to all the electric vehicles. So the car is full self-driving. It is a performance stealth, again, a feature that I preferred. I was not a fan of the big brakes and the giant tie rims. The 19s are fine, I'm happy with those, I like how they look. But the bigger 20-inch rims, I just did not want. So ironically, this color, this interior, all the feature sets, everything about it is almost exactly what I want. So now people are going to say, I know the newer car has newer features, things like that. The only two things that I can say that matter about the new car is, one, the heated steering wheel. While this car does not have a heated steering wheel, my steering wheel has been replaced now twice, which is a whole other part of the conversation. And it does not heat still, even though it's capable of heating. I'm hoping that maybe at some point there's something that can be done about that. And then other than that is the heat pump. This car does not have a heat pump. We live in Illinois, and some have been concerned that that might become an issue, but I don't think it matters. It does seem to significantly negatively impact its around town efficiency in this colder weather. However, I don't think it's going to matter much on trips, because once the car gets warm, it's warm. It seems to hold that pretty well, which is a major improvement from the Bolt. My impression with the Bolt was in colder weather, it tended to work particularly hard to keep the cabin warmer. I think it's something to do with the space and the environment and the distance and such you are from all the vents, which I think makes a big impact on the efficiency overall with that. I am currently seeing in the low 300s after the car is warmed up around town, which isn't amazing. The Bolt would easily get closer to 4 around town, but then on trips it would be down closer to 3 in this kind of weather, whereas I think this will be closer to 3.5 to 3.8 even in this environment. So far I have not noticed anything major. Doing tests with the battery capacity, it's still showing using the Tessie app and other checks that the car is able to have a capacity of over 70 kilowatts, something in the low 70 point somethings. So that's not really that much loss. I know the newer cars do have more available capacity, but it seems like most of the cars lose about 5 to 6% no matter what, just based upon time. Obviously, this car only has 22,000 miles on it. It's basically brand new for all purposes. So that's going into more interesting fact. Brand new, I'll put that in quotes. This car was manufactured in July of 2019, and there's some rumors that I'm not sure where it was built, if it was a tent car or not. Maybe some of you guys would know and be able to post it in the comments or whatnot, but I don't know if this car was a tent car or how to find out if the car was a tent car. But the previous owner seemed to be oblivious to most problems with the car. Now, another reason we did choose to purchase the car was because of the fact that, unlike other vehicles, Teslas have a approximate 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty, right? So I don't want to say exactly that. Other cars have a 3-year. So this car was purchased. It still has a warranty, bumper to bumper, until the end of August next year. So anything that goes wrong with it, bumper to bumper, this car is covered, which is good because this car has now been serviced since I've owned it for less than 2 months, almost 6 times by Tesla. So what have they done? What is the things that's been fixed on it? Well, the steering wheel has been replaced twice. They replaced it once. The steering wheel again sort of had issues, and they replaced it again. It did come with the older style steering wheel. Now there's only one SKU, so you just get the new one. But the new one I got had an issue where it was falling apart, kind of, which is weird. Within like 2 weeks, they replaced it again. This one seems to be fine. We'll see another week. On top of that, they replaced rear suspension parts, front suspension parts. They've replaced a wire loom in the back. They've replaced all of the trunk weather stripping and readjusted it because there's a trunk opening and closing issue where it was getting jammed. They fixed rattles and squeaks in windows and window brackets that were happening when the car's going over a little bit of bumps here and there. And that kind of across the board. So they've dealt with quite a few things on the car, which require multiple servicings. At the moment, there's one more service plan. The side view mirrors, sometimes it feels like the motor is seizing or not operating and just going limp, to where this just moves and doesn't correctly open and close, which is kind of annoying. So they're going to come out and replace the electric motor in this. I've seen the issue in the other one, but I'm going to wait till I can actually reconfirm that to mention or to bug them about that. But they're going to replace the electric motor in this side view mirror. Now, interior-wise, the car is basically new. There's nothing wrong with the interior. There's really nothing wrong with the exterior outside of what you would see in 22,000 miles. So the car is effectually new. So if I go inside the car, which is much warmer, it's not warm here. As you can see, it's about 45 degrees right now. I just got the updated software, so early access, so now I should have a lot of new features. Turn off the music, which is great. One thing that seems to be weird is that maybe it's just this car or some other cars have the issue too, but it seems like sometimes the updates take a very long time to finish on this car. It'll finish downloading, but then it takes forever to get to 100%. I don't understand that, and the car acts weird during that time period. Regardless, so the updates have been great. I've had now, this is my third or fourth update since getting the car. And that being said, the car does have full self-driving, full self-driving. Yeah, so it's got full self-driving and all that. The new energy app I've not got to look at yet. Well, that's cool. So I finally got this. So I'm in full self-driving beta, which is neat. And basically, as a result of being a full self-driving beta, we don't get all the newest updates when they come out exactly at that moment. So it's, hit or miss. So this new energy screen is brand new. I did not get this yet, so interesting. I can see, park. You can see what I'm interesting. So basically, you get all this information. It's brand new to me, and all the additional features. So supposedly, full self-driving got a major improvement that seems to make it better. I've driven and actually used full self-driving quite a bit, even around Chicagoland. Generally speaking, I'm using it maybe 80% of the time, 90% of the time. Highways 100%. It's flawless on the highways. Around town, it can get kind of weird. But I have actually seen significant improvement since getting it. Would I pay $15,000 for it? Absolutely not. But that's neither here nor there. It currently says my side door is open. That's because I opened it to keep the car on. So it's cracked at the moment. So yeah, I think that this will be the right decision at the moment. I am hopeful that a lot of the stuff that we want to do travel-wise will be good. You know, I'm not particularly sure yet. I've not done it, but generally speaking, so like if I want to go from here to, let's see, Louisville, Kentucky, which is a trip that I'm going to be doing soon, this to me is just fantastic. Again, coming from a Bolt, it didn't exist. This wasn't even an option. He only wants me to do one charge? Really? He wants to do 40%. I probably wouldn't do that, but that's funny that it thinks I can do it in one 40-minute stop. So I would probably end up telling it to not do that. I don't know why it wouldn't come down to here. But anyway, this feature is great. I'm really happy about the ease of just being able to get up and go. This is nice to know all this. So basically, the car should be much easier to travel with. It's not a heat pump car, but once the car is warm, it shouldn't matter anyway. At least that's my thinking. Yes, yeah, I would definitely do this. It wants me to charge. Oh, it's going to do some weird... I'm not fully charged. That's part of it at the moment. But anyway, so yeah, my thought process is that this is a better solution to most things. I think this will be the better choice, the better trip car. Dog mode, I should mention that. The one thing that we do have a dog, and dog mode is a major thing for us taking trips. So we can leave the dog. We have a small beagle. Her name is Piper, and we can leave her in the car, and she can be safe and comfortable while we go in and have lunch or whatever. If she's not able to go in with us or whatnot, we can leave her in the car. Other vehicles did not have that. So, you know, in my opinion, was this the right choice? We'll find out. I am taking a trip next week, and then another trip the following week with the car, one to Louisville, and then one to Columbus from Chicago. So we'll find out pretty quickly what it's like to travel with. My hope is that it'll be pretty solid. Right now, again, averaging about 300 watts a mile around town. I'm hopeful that's a little bit better on the highway. Still, that's fine for the most part. I mean, with how fast the car should charge, again, being the older chemistry, it does seem like the car does charge quicker. I know some people had issues with some of it, with the newer cars charging a little bit slower and don't hold peak as long. I know the capacity is lower on this car. I don't think it's going to make any bit of difference. What I pay for this car to get the equivalent thing today would have been some $33,000 or $34,000 more than what I paid for this. I don't think it's worth it for any of those upgrades. So especially being stuck with those giant tires, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm hopeful that this will be a good choice. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'll try to document the road trips I go on briefly. It should be really easy. I don't think there's going to be much to it. And I'll give you some insight from a Bolt owner gone Tesla. Again, this wasn't part of the plan, but it's now here. So anyway, like, subscribe, give me comments, questions, let me know, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Bye.